What's up, guys? This is Smeagol here with Fish Sticks. We're doing a little bit of casting, a little bit, a lot of bit, a certain amount, specific amount. From the NVIDIA booth at Blizzcon, we've got some show matches going on. Now we've got Huskies and HD Gamer. Looks like it's going to be Protoss versus Zerg on Lost Temple. Tell me a little bit about what you know about this map, Fish Sticks, and how it might play out with Toss and Zerg.
Well, let's take a look at the positions to start this thing off. All right, they're in the absolute furthest away position. I think HD is going to be really happy when he figures that out. It's generally favorable for Zerg to spawn a little bit further away from their opponents. Notable things about Lost Temple, it's been in every single Blizzard RTS for quite some time, and we've already got a pause, which is fun. But
it's like the Where's Waldo of Blizzard maps, huh?
One of the notable things is there's a high ground next to the natural expansion, which can be really abused. Neither of the players are Terran. Thor drops have been really common on Lost Temple lately. But we're just going to have to wait and see what these two players do. Obviously, HD and Husky, both quite famous StarCraft casters. Pleasure to be casting them right now.
Oh, yes. So excited. All right. I'm excited to get Protoss versus Zerg. This is a good matchup. You know, anything involving a Terran is boring for me. Yeah, just that's my personal opinion. But you know, right on point here. We're gonna see Husky sending out a scouting probe after his pylon. Sometimes I like to wait till I get my gateway down. Depends on how I'm feeling.
Yeah, he's gonna go ahead and scout his close position. That's for all new players. You definitely want to scout that close position first.
I remember some really exciting Warcraft 3 matches on Lost Temple when they would spawn close. It'd just be instant harassment right off the bat. But there was also this whole thing about killing NPCs that really made Warcraft boring. So, you know, I'm glad it started.
So 14 gate here, or excuse me, 12 gate here for Husky.
Yeah,
pretty standard.
Would have been a new strategy.
Yeah, and again, we've also been seeing players favor the expand before the spawning pool as Zerg a bit more lately. But again, the 14 pool, very standard play. Husky's getting a good look at what HD's up to. They're both going to see each other's bases quite soon and see that really nothing is out of the ordinary. So the next play is going to be interesting, though. I'm not really sure what HD is going to be when HD is going to be looking to expand, but looks like Husky is going to keep his probe there in hopes to block this expansion from happening.
Yeah, and you know, Husky's also putting down his gas. If you were going to go for a straight-up 2-gate, which works really well versus Zerg, depending on your level of ability and having it sort of memorized pretty well. It works pretty well, and you wouldn't go down for the gas. You wouldn't put down a cybernetics core. It would just be straight up 2 gateways, no gas. He's gonna put down a second gas now also, so we'll see what he decides to do with that. It might lead us to believe that he's gonna go for a robo facility, perhaps Fish Sticks, or also he might go air. It's possible, but whatever he's doing, it's gonna be gas intensive.
You know, Smeagol, I definitely like this play by Husky. Going tech early on. Still, and they're HD able to now finally be able to put down his expansion once he gets 300 minerals in just a second. A little bit late on that expo, I would say. He probably wanted to get that a little early. Nice move by Husky to plant the pylon there to block that expansion from happening. But again, neither player aggressive whatsoever. It looks like there's actually a pylon in the top left of Husky's base. He's probably going to try to hide some tech up there. Really standard build. No second gate quite yet. So at this point, Husky is really vulnerable to attack. But then again, HD hasn't built a single Zergling to his name. He's pretty much macroing up with 2 queens out on the docket. And his second expansion about 60% done. So really not much has happened between these two players now, and there is the hidden tech I was talking about. It looks like a Stargate and an additional gateway going up in the corner.
It's a good call considering how often you see a Mutalisk strategy now from Zerg. I mean, it's sort of, he's almost preempting a strategy that the Zerg might take, it would seem to me.
Yeah, and
But also Phoenix harassment works pretty well. You know, you can pick up a queen, do a little juggling, take it down. It's helpful.
especially with these long positions, having air and being able to control the map with air is so very important. Just looking at the production tab right now, we've got warp gates coming up for the Protoss player. Obviously, that's Stargate and Gateway. For the Zerg player, we've got Metabolic Boost. He's going to have some Zergling speed coming up pretty soon, although I do expect HD to tech up to something beyond Zerglings quite soon. I think we're probably going to see some Roaches too, but he definitely does not know of this Stargate push. He's planting actually a spine crawler in the front of his base, 2 spine crawlers. He's expecting some early pressure, but he doesn't really have any intel to really make him lead to that conclusion. So kind of just blindly throwing up some spine crawlers, and I don't think it's going to be the right choice, Smeagol.
We see always going defensive a little bit. Yeah, I mean, if you're Zerg, you really want to be pushing the tempo of the game. You don't want to be sitting back and waiting to see what happens. I mean, that's the main advantage of being a Zerg is to, be sort of constantly harassing. So we'll see what he can do with these Zerglings, whether he's got a little bit of micro going on or whether he can put some damage in to Huskies. But Huskies already got that first Phoenix out. He chrono boosted the first one out. He was sitting on a little pile of about 200 minerals. He still is. He seems a little bit slow in terms of production, but he was trying to kill off that Overlord there, but he was able to get that done. Right now, he's cranking him out, though. He's got the 2 gateways firing. He's got the Stargate. He's coming out with 2 more Phoenixes that should be coming out. Well, one is almost ready right now. And he's doing some damage. And he's actually in danger of putting HD Gamer into negative supply here. No. Yeah. It's 41 out of 28, so he can't actually make units, correct? He needs to make some more Overlords.
Yeah, so that's actually a nice move. Those Zerglings are not going to be able to face that many Zealots. HD really can't push in here, especially because of that. Especially if you if Husky micros that Stalker well, that's just not going to happen. But over on HD's side of the map, we've got a Spire going up, so he knows of that Phoenix play. Obviously, he already lost 1 or 2. Overseers to that play, so Hydralisks now and a Spire going up. He's going to want that anti-air, and he's going to get it. So really defensive play here by HD, dropping down those 2 spine crawlers, and now he's even dropping down 2 spore crawlers as well to guard from that Phoenix harass, which is coming in right now. 3 Phoenixes coming straight towards HD's natural expansion. Husky's going to micro them over to the side here. He could be picking off drones. Actually, both the natural expansion and the main for HD have spore crawlers, so he's pretty well guarded from that Phoenix harass. Nonetheless, those overseers are still fair game for those Phoenixes. So let's see what Husky can do with those air units. A ton of Zealots as well. A ton of Zealots making their way through the map.
Yeah, I don't think he was expecting to see all those spine crawlers down, because the harassment with the Phoenixes would have been a lot more effective with no spine crawlers. But now he's got his Zealots and he's moving out. I think that he's in a pretty serious advantage here. That ability of the move where he took down those Overlords seemed to have been really effective. Oh, those Zealots! I mean, basically went loop-de-loop around the back. And he didn't see them. He'd already moved out all his Zealots, and he does not have an effective wall open up in his base right now. Yeah, he's scrambling to try and make something happen, and they're going to attack this Zealot, but that's going to be all she wrote, and he's going to get into the back of the base here, and if there's probably do some serious damage to these probes. And there's sort of
serious damage.
Yeah, and we got all the queens being juggled up now by the Phoenixes, which is impressive as well. But back in his base, back in Husky's base, his probes are getting obliterated by all these Zerglings, and his probe micro is non-existent at this point. Trying to kill them with his probes is also probably not going to be all that effective, but he's got a few Zealots now back there. He lost probably, I would say, 60% of his probes, 50% of his probes during that encounter.
So, yeah, I'm going to
Where did all his units go? Great question.
That's almost GG already. I mean, if Husky was able to warp in just 2 more Stalkers and block off that entrance or get that pylon up like he meant to, he would have really been able to keep those Zerglings out at least for another 30 seconds. I'm not sure why he didn't warp in more Zealots. And that attack to the front of HD's base was also completely unsuccessful. Way too many spine crawlers up. And I'm not really sure about the unit composition either by Husky. Really going very heavy on the zealots. You need some more stalkers in that mix, and you need to not engage when there are that many spine crawlers.
You need to have some mic
totally
as well.
Yeah, totally failed push. Half of his probes are gone. His natural expansion just going up really late in this game. Already 13 minutes and 30 game seconds into the game. So yeah, and now HD's gearing up to take his third expansion, which will be the high yield expansion. He's doing a great job spreading his creep across the map. So Husky's in a really tough place right now. I'm not sure what he's going to do. I don't think building all these units right now is going to help. He's going to have to grow his econ. It's the only possible way that he's going to get back into this game.
Yeah, you know, I guess I'd like to know what your opinion is on this, Fish Sticks, but it seems like he almost just got unlucky, that they sort of played ring around the rosy a little bit, and it seemed like HD just sort of picked up on it a little bit faster than he did. If he'd been able to react to that a little bit faster, then maybe he would have been able to micro his probes out and done some more damage and not taking such a big hit.
Well, yeah, he was unlucky that they kind of passed each other midfield, but I believe he did have vision of those Zerglings running by, so immediately he should have spawned in some more zealots to block his entrance, and that was really where he failed there, not blocking off and just letting his probes get dealt so much damage, and also committing to that push in the front was just not the right choice. But he does have some turrets up, he does have a small force, but just looking at the food counter right now, it's not looking good for Husky. 3 expansions already up. Actually, the 3rd expansion just about to pop for HD, so really not much that Husky can do. How good are Zealots against Hydras, he asks. I would say not so good. Not so great. I think he's going to have a hard time with the sheer quantity of Hydras and Roaches coming in right now. Those turrets are going to do some damage, but I think HD could break through right now if he wanted to. He's even bringing his queens up. I'm guessing that was a mistake. The queens are just 3 queens midfield right now. So we're getting a few words from our NVIDIA friend.
Yeah, and it seems like also, Chris, is this mic terrible? I can't position it properly. It seems like also that...
That's good.
All right, that's better. All right, it seems like also he hasn't really done anything with his Stargate since his first attempt at sort of opening harassment with the Phoenixes. He hasn't found a way to make it work in his favor in an additional way. Maybe Void Rays would not have been super helpful because Hydralisks, of course, can attack air, and they're a pretty decent unit, but I don't know. It just seems like there could have been a better way for him to maintain harassment while also trying to recover a little bit.
Oh, here's the main push right in the front, and I'm afraid that Husky just does not have the forces to deal with this. Some nice force fields, though, buying him a little bit of time. Miss micro on the Phoenixes, though. Those Phoenixes are going down really quick, and that turret, once that turret's down, pretty much free reign for HD to move in, although more good force fields by Husky, splitting the Zerg army right now. But there's really not much that Husky can do, honestly. Too many Zerg creatures right now, and even if he uses that choke point and uses that high ground, it's still not going to work. I don't even think he's going to be able to hold this off with all those probes, but here they come. Probe genocide incoming as we speak. What can those probes do? They're not even they're not even attacking. All right.
He says, why are they not attacking?
GG, no rematch. So Husky's going to take this very HD is taking this very convincingly. Some poor choices by Husky early on in this game put him so far behind. I don't think there was much he could do, Smeagol.